Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and hope you guys are having a good day and really appreciate you all joining me for today's episode. Story time, guys. About once every month or two, I like to tell a story from back in the day. A lot of you guys like to hear about this stuff. I know there's a big interest, especially you older guys out there. So I got a good one for y'all today about the time when I ran into a boulder in my boat, and the events surrounding this particular situation are, I'll never forget them. This one particular day. So I think you guys will really enjoy hearing the story. Also, guys, a quick reminder: we only got 3 days left in the Tackle Warehouse Black Friday sale. If you guys are interested in getting 20% off on about anything on the Tackle Warehouse website, you've only got 3 days left to do it. I'll put my Tackle Warehouse Black Friday sale link in the description of this video if you guys would like to take advantage of that, and using that link's a good way to help the channel out too, so I really appreciate that. Okay, guys, this was a tournament, a Bassmaster Top 100 tournament down at Lake Martin in Alabama in 1989. And this was leading up to this thing was an incredible deal because this was the second tournament of the year for the 1989 season. And the first tournament of the year, I won the tournament, the Bassmaster Top 100 at Bugs Island. So I went straight to Lake Martin like 3 weeks after that for this particular tournament. So this is where this happened at. So Lake Martin, it's a clear water, sort of a spotted bass lake. I'd never been there before. So like I always used to do back then, I'd always try to get to the hardest place that I could get to where nobody else could find me. And I ran in practice, I ran way up the river in Lake Martin, and way up in the river there, pretty dangerous. There's a lot of current, there's a lot of boulders in the water, a lot of snags and that type of stuff. And I picked my way up through there and got way up there and, had a pretty good practice. So first day of the tournament, I ran up there, guys, and I catch like 15 pounds and I'm leading the tournament. So I'm on top of cloud nine in this deal because I just got done winning the last tournament. Here I am, go to the very next top 100 tournament, and I'm leading the tournament again. So I'm on the top of the world. And I hadn't seen anybody where I was fishing at. It's like there was plenty of fish up there. After that evening at that first day of the tournament, I said, I'm going to win 2 tournaments in a row here because I had it dialed in. I was flipping the jig on isolated lay-down trees, perfectly my style of fishing. Like I said, nobody there. Everything's just perfect. So anyway, the second day of the tournament, I run up there again, same deal. Everything's perfect. I catch a big limit, probably in about, probably 3 or 4 hours. Haven't seen anybody. Got a bigger limit than I had the first day. And so I wanted to make sure that, I had plenty of time to get back in. So I started running in. And this particular stretch of the river, I had idled this whole stretch of the river to figure out where you could run and where the dangerous spots are and where they weren't. So I had a really good idea of how to pick my way through it. So I took out, from the where I was fishing there, and I ran about probably half a mile down the river, and I freaking nail a boulder in the middle of the river. The thing must have just been like a foot underneath the water. Stopped me dead in the water almost. And I couldn't believe it. Like I said, I've got probably about a 25-mile run back to weigh in. And I've allowed myself like probably 15 minutes leeway, that type of thing. So it's like, oh my God, I don't even want to trim this motor up to take a look at it because I nailed it hard. So anyway, I trimmed the motor up, and first thing I saw was the prop was all messed up. It wasn't like terrible, but the blades were bent a little bit. But then I trimmed it farther out of the water, and guys, there's literally a hole that is this big around, as big as my hand on the lower unit, and every gear is exposed. So it's almost like you took a welding torch and cut out the lower unit, cut out the face of the welding of the lower unit, where you could see the drive shaft, you could see the worm gears, all the gears were exposed. And it's like, oh, this is not good because there's nobody up there. And I've got another big bag of fish in the live well. And I looked at that thing and I said, I am freaking screwed. So anyway, I trimmed the motor back down and I tried to start it, and for whatever reason, it wouldn't start. It's like it goes, almost like the battery was dead. which was really weird. I didn't understand it. Something had happened to it. So I'm sitting there racking my mind. It's like, what the heck am I going to do? It's like this thing, it acts like the battery's dead for some reason. I don't know why that would be. So anyway, I just instinctively, I pulled the cowling off the motor. And back then, that was an old 150 horse Mercury EFI, and it had a flywheel on top of it with a rope. So you could crank it in an emergency. So anyway, I took that emergency rope out there. Now you got to remember, time is going by fast, and so I'm down to like within minutes. I'm like, if this thing does not get started, and if I can't get out of here within like 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to be late to weigh in. So took the cowling off, got the rope out of the little package that it was in, put the spindle on that thing in there, and pulled it as hard as I could. Nothing. Pulled it 2 or 3 more times, and the motor fired up, so it's running. So it's like, and we don't have any time left. We're like, I'm probably going to be late as it is. So I told my co-angler, I said, let's go. Put your stuff down. We're going. Didn't even put the cowling back on the motor. I just threw the cowling in the floor of the boat, and I said the only way, if this thing even holds up, is like I kept saying to myself, this thing's going to freaking freeze up within the first 10 feet. It's like there's literally, it was just like exposed worm gears everywhere, exposed drive shafts. So I start up and I get going, and I just said, I got nothing to lose. I'm going to cut every corner on this river. And guys, I was cutting, I cranked it up. I just put the hammer down, and I was cranking every corner of that river, like within 10 feet of the bank. Nobody was up there. And because it's like, I don't care if I hit anything, because the motor's already destroyed. So I'm running wide open. The thing, it sounds like hell. It's like the motor, it sounds like it's going to blow at any time. So I'm every freaking mile that I run, I can't believe that it's still going. And the only I'm thinking, it's like, well, God, maybe the water is cooling it or something because it's exposed to the water. I don't know what the deal is. So I'm running in, and I'm getting close to weigh-in, and I look at my watch, and it's like, I've got like, a minute left or a minute and a half left to get back in there. And I get probably within 75 yards or maybe a little bit further, 100 yards away from the check-in boat, and the motor freezes up. It just locks up. So anyway, I'm dead in the water. I run up to the front of the boat, get on the trolling motor, and I'm waving my hands like that so they can see that I'm within sight of the check-in boat. And they let me weigh in. They didn't count me late, but the motor froze up. So I come in, I weigh in after all this, and I'm leading the tournament again. So it's like I'm like a live nerve ending at this point, because it's like I thought for sure I was going to ruin it. I was going to lose this catch. So I overcame all these obstacles, and I'm leading the tournament on day 2. So I'm all excited up and getting got the boat fixed, went to the service crew. They put a new lower unit on. I'm ready to roll. So, get back to the room that night. Excuse me. Get back to the hotel room that night to get ready for the day 3. And at this point, guys, it's like, I just said, I'm going to win this tournament. I'm going to win 2 in a row. I just don't know. Am I going to win it by 10 pounds or am I going to win it by 20 pounds? Because it was getting better and better. So it starts raining by 8 o'clock in the evening, hard, and it does not stop. And the next morning it's still raining. And I'm talking, we've had like 8 or 10 inches of rain, guys. And I run up the river there to where I'm fishing, and it looks like a can of chocolate or a half gallon of chocolate milk. No visibility, like literally you could put your jig in the water and disappear instantly. So my tournament, leading area is completely done. So I had to completely bail out of that area and just go fishing. I didn't have anything else going on. I wound up finishing 20-something in the tournament. But you talk about an emotional up and down. It's like going from winning the tournament to leading the tournament for 2 days, almost having it taken away, and then having some freaking bizarre, flood come in the night before the 3rd day of the tournament and completely take me out of contention. That is why tournament fishing is, that's why it's great, and that's why it sucks at the same time, because it is so exciting at times. And it's so stressful at times. Then this is back when bass fishing was real fishing. You don't have that type of thing now with the age of the cheater box, but that was back when real fishing was actually real fishing. But that was one of those tournaments I'll definitely never forget. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. We'll talk later.